Here. Every day I refuse to die and unlive life. I like to leave this with you. That Mama used to love to hear me say. Well, I don't know how to shut it off.
That was good.
But honestly, that changed my life in 2008. I was going through a little bit of a time because one of my dogs had died, and it was like, you lose your best friend. And he said to me, you got to hear Les Brown. You got to hear Jim Rohns. He gave me the smooth mix, and I fell in love with Les. I started listening to all his work, and I just consumed myself with everything that he's put out there. And I continuously do it. As you guys know, when I do the Night Owls on Sunday nights, and so you know, tonight, Crypto Picasso is going to do the Night Owl for us. Right after we finish here, you go to iMarketsLive.tv. Got Bitcoin rising, got a lot of things happening. So Crypto Picasso is going to handle it. I'm not doing it tonight. So it was a few weeks ago at GoPro weekend. China was at Eric Worre's house. She was in the VIP section, went to Eric Worre's house. And she puts me on with Eric Worre. And then she says, man, I got to get you on with Les Brown. Wait, Les, do I see you there? Do I see that pretty face up there? I know, I see you up there. So she says, I got to put you on with Les Brown. I'm like, no way. I go, no. She goes, Les. And I go, Les who? She goes, Brown. I'm jumping around in my seat. I'm jumping around. And she says, let me get him. Let me get him. And she puts him on the phone. And all I saw was this big, beautiful smile. And quite honestly, I was overwhelmed. All I knew is a half hour later, he was sitting in my condominium. China Beckley, Les Brown, Regina, his partner, and Alex Morton. We spent 4 hours, just 4 hours. And I have to tell you, I asked Les, I said, Les, do you want some water? And he goes, no, sir. And I looked at him, I go, but are you hungry? And we developed a close friendship from that point. And the next day came over for another 4 or 5 hours. And right now, he's going to be doing our Unleashed event. He's going to be speaking at the Unleashed event. On top of that, he's going to be at the VIP dinner with us. So for those of you that are going to be getting the VIP tickets, he's going to be part of that. And then we also have a relationship, a partnership going forward that he's going to be on IML TV once a month doing a motivational. Look, it's blown my mind that one of the people in the world who's my mentor, never knew he was my mentor, has become family to me. And I'm just blown away. I'm flipping out that this gentleman who could pick any company, he's also building iMarkets Live. He's already building. He's bringing people to the table. He believes in what we do. There's a whole story behind this. But it's blown my mind. China, him and China know each other for several years. And she's an out-and-out champion. And how can you not love her? Look at her. Big smile with a big... You know what? I need to be there with my big Biggie Smalls hat with a big cane, But, thank you, China, for making an introduction. You've changed not only my life, but the lives of tens of thousands that are going to be part of this movement. And the credibility just of Les giving us that opportunity to be part of us and to share tonight. Myself, Alex Morton, he's going to present something tonight, which is such a great idea. Alex Morton and myself, we've approved it. We love it. We got some great ideas, but I asked him, I said, can you do a Christmas gift, a Christmas message to our family? And Les, I just want to get, I don't even want to say, I just want to get off the screen real quick, hand it over to you, and thank you for being part of our family. So I'm going to go on mute, and if you can unmute yourself, let's do this thing, my brother. Love you so much.
All right. I think I am unmuted. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Chris?
Mr. Les Brown put sevens in the chat.
But
Les, go crazy.
But Les, are you hungry?
Yes, I am. I am hungry. Chris, I want to thank you so much. I tell you, when we met, it's always a treat when great people meet. And you're just my brother from another mother. And I was so fascinated to meet you and to spend time with you. and I'm excited about what you're doing. And it most certainly was great to be able to be in your energy and to experience the excitement around what it is that you're doing. And China, she is special. I've known China for years. And Regina Renee, she's just been phenomenal. And both of them are very good friends of mine. I want to share some time with you about the goal of a minimum of 1 million customers. And I was thinking about tonight's call that we're going to do each month. And let me share with you why the call is important, not just for you, but for potential business partners and for customers. And you want to bring them with you once a month. Because as you think about creating a minimum of 1 million customers, something is very important. There's a process to do that. And there are 3 steps that I want to talk to you about. And number 1, working on your mindset. Now, why is that important? Because people don't live life as it is. They live life as they are. And as you introduce people to this business, each person you talk to, you are interrupting the story and the mental conditioning they have themselves. And that's an ongoing battle. It never stops. And I discovered that the hard way. I'll never forget when I was in Manhattan and King World had paid me $5 million to do a show. And I stopped working on my mindset. I was too busy being a celebrity. Gladys Knight and I were married at the time. And I was rehearsing, and I stopped listening to motivational messages. I stopped reading 30 to 40 pages a day. And one of the things that in the book called As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, something he said that I'll never forget. He said, negative thoughts are like weeds. He said, you can't kill weeds. He said, you can put some weed killer on them, but if you don't do maintenance work, those weeds going to come back, and they're going to come back with a vengeance. I saw a friend of mine on television today. He had written a book about how he lost weight, and he's gained all that weight back plus more. Why? Because he didn't have a maintenance program. And as I was walking into the studio, and mind you, I had a $7,500 a month condominium in Miami. I had in Manhattan. I had a chauffeur. I had a bodyguard. And there I was looking up at lights, and I heard a voice, a negative voice that said, this is too good to be true. Something is bound to happen. And it did. I spoke death on my own dream. Death and life is in the tongue. Isn't that interesting? That the book of life would say death and life is in the tongue. Did not say life and death, but death and life. Why? Because most of us unconsciously speak death. And I spoke death on my own dream. Something is bound to happen. This is too good to be true. And it did. And I worked hard to make that happen. Here's what I discovered. When your own sense of accomplishment outgrows your sense of deservingness, you will unconsciously sabotage yourself to bring yourself back down to that mindset that you were born into, to that mindset that was developed between 0 and 7. The Joshua would say, give me a baby and I'll give you a man at 7. Why? Because between 0 and 7, we develop permanent personality behaviors. During that time, there is either a word in our heart that says yes or it says no. And so as we look at ourselves, look at our goals, it's very important to become clear that we have a collective and individual a minimum of 1 million customers. And you want to have a program to work on yourself. Now, why is that? To insulate your mind, because there's so many distractions that's going on right now. And as a result, those distractions will dilute your mind and your power to achieve the goals that you have it within yourself to achieve. And so I can share with you the easiest thing I've ever done was to earn $1 million. That's right. That's the easiest thing. But let me share with you what was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. And it took me years to do it, was to believe that I could do it. To believe that Brown's baby boy, that she took in as a foster child. To believe that I, Les Brown, born in an abandoned building on a floor in Liberty City, with my twin brother Wesley, taken in as a foster child, labeled educable, mentally retarded, put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade, failing in the 8th grade, being raised in Liberty City on drugs and poverty and killing and all types of dysfunctional behavior. To believe that I could extract myself from that kind of environment and reinvent myself, to die to who I've been, to give birth to who I am right now. And I say to you that as we look into 2019 and become clear, what is it you're going to do each day? As you look at your goals and dreams, what radical behavior that you're going to do each day to who you are now, give birth to who you ought to become in order to achieve the goal that you envision for yourself. And as you think about that minimum of 1 million customers, decide now. This is a defining moment right now. You have to decide. I'll never forget when I was looking at my mother getting ready to go to work one day, and she said, "Oh, Arthur's bothering me." I said, "Mama," and you probably gathered I'm a mama's boy. I said, "What do you mean by that?" She said, "My ankles, every time it gets cloudy, Leslie, my ankles and my knees swell, and I feel a lot of pain." And she was getting ready to go to work to take care of 7 children that she did not give birth to, that she was willing to go all out for us, to put food on the table, a roof over our head, and clothes on our back, in spite of the pain, in spite of the discomfort from arthritis. Now learn something, that when you have goals, when you have dreams, you've got to develop a mindset of, I'm going to make this happen in spite of the distractions, in spite of the people that will say no, in spite of the people that will look at you and say, "Oh, is this some kind of pyramid scheme?" What's important is, at this time, is to give yourself the gift of financial freedom. And I made a decision, and this is a defining moment for you, because the reason that this goal is so important, in order to do something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been. The reason that this goal is so important, you've got to die to who you are now to give birth to who you are to become. And so as you look at this and think about this, it has to become a magnificent obsession. It has to say to yourself every day. You need pictures and words to reinforce that. You need to speak to yourself and encourage yourself every day. Every day. It's possible. It's possible that you can do a minimum of 1 million. In fact, it's possible that you can do a minimum of 1.5 million or 2 million. But we're going to set the bar low at 1 million. Now, here's something else. It's necessary. Decide that it's necessary. I remember when things changed for me, when I saw my mother going to work, standing on 10th Street Northwest 4th Avenue to catch a bus to go to Miami Beach to cook for families, and we ate the food left over from the families that she cooked for. As I looked at her walking gingerly to the bus stop, that was a defining moment for me. And I said to myself, I'm going to take care of my mother. I want you to think about what drives you. What is it that motivates you? What is it that as you look at yourself, look at your dream and look at the goal of a minimum of 1 million customers? What number out of that million are you going to say, this is the number that's got my name on it? Now, you know, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. This is Christmas time. So one of the things that's very important, decide tonight, who will you bless tomorrow? Find one person that you feel that is worthy of being blessed by purchasing the program for them. Why? Well, don't you want to give it to somebody who need more money? No. You want to give it to somebody who want more money. One of the scriptures that used to challenge me, it said, he that has shall get, and he that hath not, even that he has, shall be taken away. You want to give it to somebody that's going to do something with it. You want to give it to somebody that's going to grow it and multiply and build a tribe and help you to achieve the number that you've decided, this is the number of people that I'm going to bring into the business, that I'm going to draw the line, this defining moment. Here's what I'm going to do. It's possible and it's necessary. And now you partnering with this person and others to make it happen. See, there are things in your life that's so important that you have to decide that this is a non-negotiable. I don't know how many of you have children. I have 5 boys and 5 girls. And the Lord said, be fruitful and multiply. I want you to know the brother took him seriously. My oldest son, my namesake, Calvin, had a stroke, 53. And Calvin dropped from 265 pounds as a result of that stroke down to 75 pounds. He looked like death. I don't care how old your children become. Something happens to them. It happens to you. And the medical coverage that was required was traditional and allopathic, non-traditional. Had I not had the money to pay for 3 practitioners, which cost $3,000 a week, on purpose, because 27-year cancer conqueror is $5,000 a month. You heard me correct, $5,000 a month. And so there I was, and my son, a specialist, came in, traditional doctor, and said, Mr. Brown, it's been several months now. I hate to tell you this, but the cells between your esophagus and your brain, they're dead. You can't swallow your own saliva. You can't eat. You can't swallow water. This tube in your stomach is your new normal. Get used to it. This is the way it is. And fortunately, the 3 practitioners who I had the money to pay to be with my son, they looked at each other in shock. And the doctor felt out of the room. They turned around to follow him, and my son said, excuse me, can I see the 3 of you for a moment, please? And they turned around and said, yes. I said, come closer to the bed, please. He said, why did you look at each other in shock? And they looked around to see if the doctor was gone. And they said, he can't say that to you. You're not an old man. If you think like a hammer, everything looks like a nail. He can't say that those cells are permanently dead and that you'll be fed with a tube in your stomach for the rest of your life. You're young. Here's my card. Come see me in my private practice. And if we can't help you, you owe us nothing. Now, mind you, had I not had the money to do that, all I would be able to do was to pray for my son. The first visit, my son was able to swallow his fiber and water. The second visit, he was able to swallow soup and bread that had been soaked in moisture. The third visit, he was able to swallow soft food. And the fourth visit, they took the tube out. And my son no longer has a tube in his stomach. My son, who dropped down to 165 pounds now. Yeah, he dropped down to 75 pounds. Now he's weighs over 200 pounds. He came back. What made that possible? The fact that I had the money. 95% of the people who filed bankruptcy last year did so because of medical expenses. I was at a conference and the guy came in, he said, all of us are one surgery away from bankruptcy. All of them. And as you look at yourself and look at your goals, and there's a lot of conversation about walls, build a wall of protection for yourself and for your family by giving the gift of financial freedom to yourself and to someone that will help you to build the business, that will help you to grow the business, that will attract more customers. Side. So a number of people that you're going to talk to each day. People often ask me, how did you get here? How did you end up speaking to AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, General Electric? How did you, coming from Liberty City, no college training, being labeled educable, mentally retarded, put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade and failing again in the 8th grade, how did you become among the top fighters in the world? Jimmo Nomashkov, who is gone, Leon Coca, who is gone, Robert Schuller, who is gone, Paul Harvey, who's gone, and you're the last man standing. How is it that they did an organic Google search on you and over 3.5 billion people went online to find you and you never had an infomercial? How did you make that kind of global impact? I say to you, because I was hungry. I say to you, because I felt it was possible if my mother could raise and provide for 7 children that she didn't give birth to. I said that the least that I could do, and this comes to a deciding moment for you, that I had a compelling reason. I was determined. Mama, when you left here the other day, I thought about it. When will I be a man? Tell me, Mama, when you turn 18, Leslie. And Mama, you'll never work again. I'm sitting you down. I will pay all the bills when I turn 18. See, my mother she said, son, if you got a wife and she's got a job, she said, one of y'all got to go. I said, what do you mean? She said, a woman ain't supposed to pay bills. I said, when I turn 18, you'll never pay another bill. You'll never pay another bill. And that was a defining moment. I want you to think about a reason that you won't fail. I want you to think about a reason, a quota that you will give yourself and that you won't stop each day until you achieve it. And as you look at your goal and look at your dream, as you select someone that you're going to bless tomorrow or this week by Friday with this gift of financial freedom, as you bless yourself, because I decided, no, I'm not going to be poor anymore. I decided. I heard my mama talking about bills all the time, robbing Peter to pay Paul. I got tired of hearing that. And being tired of hearing it is not enough. You have to be like Fannie Lou Hamer, who said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so I said, I'm getting out of here. Where are you going, Leslie? Away from him, Mama. I can't do this anymore. I've got to do something else. I'm working for the Miami Sanitation. That's not enough money, and that's not me. I got to do something, and I'm working with people. Something that would allow me to help people. And I said to you, the reason that you became involved in this business, that you love to help people. And when you can help people and create wealth, create financial freedom, and you got a compelling reason, and I want you to think about that, because life is going to come up against you. No test, no testimony, as Dexter Yeager used to say. Life is going to challenge you. Do you really want this dream, Mr. Brown, of buying this home for your mother? Mr. Brown, of being financially free? Mr. Brown, of your mother not having to ever work again? Do you really want to do this? I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. I'm 74. And you have to ask that. Because when you have a compelling reason on giving yourself the gift of financial freedom, of giving yourself more time with your family and your friends and your children, and you have a commitment to build a legacy, that defining moment, as you think, as we get off this call later on tonight, as you reflect my voice with about who you must become, what part of you must die. There's something in you, I can tell you from my own experience, and you know this to be true. There's a part of us that when we have a compelling reason, when we decide, I'm going to do this no matter what, nothing is going to distract me. Nothing is going to stop me. I must honor myself with my word. My daughter Ona was in valleys exercising, and this group of women, there was one woman who was 85 and they were doing sit-ups, and Ona at the time was 38. And Ona started having cramps in her stomach, and she said her stomach was becoming sore and she was ready to quit. She stopped for a moment, and this lady who was 85 years old looked over her. Honor yourself, as she smiled and winked at her and continued to do the setups. Honor yourself. I'm 85. I dare you quit. And Ona said, Dad, I couldn't quit. I had to gut it out. I had to make it happen. And this is where this is a defining moment, that you set the bar higher, because in order to do something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been. There's some of you that hear me in your ears, but there's some of you that hear me in your heart, that this will be a defining moment, that it's possible, that it's necessary, and that it's you. That it's you. It's you. When you own the stuff, when you own the spot, when you own your dream, when you own the things that you must do to die to who you've been, to give birth to who you must become, when you own the radical change that you scan your life and see the things that no longer fit, see the people that you cannot be around anymore because they don't have dreams and they don't have goals. I don't take a phone call unless it's positive, unless it's purposeful, it's something in alignment with the purpose and the direction of my life, unless it's productive, something meaningful is going to come out of it, unless it's profitable, if it's going to help me build. I've got my grandchildren in this business as well as my children. And so it's a time to go all out and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Work with your team. Don't Don't try and do it all by yourself. Talk to each other. Monitor your behavior. Listen. I want you to go online and listen to Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome. When I gave that speech, this Georgia Dome no longer exists in Atlanta. I was bathing in the sink down the hall in the Penobscot building, 21st floor. When I gave that speech, I was sleeping on a hard wooden floor. When I gave that speech, I remember the security calling me to the office and said, Mr. Brown, this is not an apartment complex. I understand you've been sleeping in your office. I say, no, I've been working late and getting up early. Yes, I have. I'm just going through a tough time right now. And my friend Larry DeAngie and Alexander Boo Wims, they had inflated soft air beds. I slept on the floor. Why? I didn't want to become comfortable. I didn't want to become comfortable. I remember standing, looking out of the window in Detroit, Michigan, at offices where the lights were on. And I had this vision that one night I'm going to have my lights on in the office, and this will not be my hotel. Life happens to all of us. Think it not strange that you face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will, not you might. You will have tribulations. Things are going to happen to you. And so this is a defining moment. As you look into 2019, the year of your dream, there's a calling on your life. There are people that as a result of them being in your presence, there are people that as a result of them hearing your voice, there are people as a result of them being involved in the education to learn new technology and to learn new methods and techniques of how they can become in control of their own personal economy. Who need you? Who need you? You're going to be saving lives. The suicide rate in America has increased since 1999 to 30% up to this day. There are people whose lives you're going to save. Every time the unemployment goes up 1%, 10,000 women are battered and children are beaten. You're going to help a lot of people. And this is a special time in history. Sometimes the best of times and the worst of times. And you answered the call on your life. You have decided at this point in history to reinvent yourself, to learn a new method of generating income for your family, to build a legacy. Is it easy? No, it's possible. You decide that it's necessary. It's you. And it's hard. It's hard. I never forget when I wanted to back down from my dream, my mentor, Mike Williams, said, if you do what is easy, that is quit. If you do what is easy, that is don't keep your word to yourself. If you do what is easy and just start slacking up and living a life of mediocrity, if you do what is easy, Mr. Brown, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, raise the bar on yourself. If you do what is hard, learn something today that you didn't know yesterday. If you do what is hard, become a perpetual student. If you do what is hard, make the commitment, honor yourself, define yourself, and let go of those habits and behaviors that don't serve you. If you do what is hard, your life will be easy. So let me speak to you and say this as I wind up. 2000, the year of your dream. And if you're with somebody right now, I want you to shake their hand and say goodbye. Goodbye. Because as we go into 2019, you want to take a different person into 2019. Einstein said the thinking that has brought me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. As we go into 2019 and build momentum, exploding this week, finding someone that you're going to bless between now and Friday to create momentum. A journey on 1,000 miles begins with a single step. this moment, thinking about it. Who is it that I can bless? And it might be a total stranger. And hopefully that is the case, because they have nothing to forget about you. Some people, family members and friends, that they just won't respond. And don't try to convince anybody. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. You've got to step out of line. I tell people it's lonely at the top, but you eat better. Yeah. This is a mindset. Take no prisoners and eat the wounded. It's a mindset. Snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. It's a mindset. 1 million minimum. We're going to make it happen no matter what. I see that for you. You have something special. You have great leadership with integrity, and Chris and China and others who share this dream and vision. And you have a vehicle that will lead you to manifesting the gift of financial freedom for yourself, the people that you love, and the legacy that you leave. You have something special. You have greatness in you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. Been a plum pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. Chris?
I'm speechless. Wow. So, Les, stay live with me for a moment here. Thank you so much. And it is a defining moment. 2018 is dying. We're giving birth to 2019. And during this next week, this next holiday week, I'm going to live that idea of giving the gift. I'm going to find somebody that I'm going to give the gift of iMarkets Live. I'm going to pay for their subscription and give them that gift to get them started. If they're hungry enough, they can have it. Not if they need it.
Yes.
Not the needy, we want the greedy. The ones that want.
They want it if they're hungry. They want somebody that's hungry. Yeah. Because the person that's hungry, yeah, they'll do something with it. They'll do something with it. A person who needs it, they're not going to do anything with it. I know that. I've seen that. Exactly. No, you want, and that's why the scripture said, he that has shall get. Hath what? Ambition, drive, hunger, determination, discipline, focus. He that had shall get. But he that hath none of these things, even the things they have, shall be taken away. No, you've got to be selective.
Oh, yeah.
There's some people, it's a hand down. But there's some people, it's a hand up. That you give it to the right person, you say, whoa, wow. And there's some people that will be the key to for them to become, as Mother Teresa would say, a pencil in the hand of God and start writing a new chapter of wealth in their lives. Yeah, be very selective. Think about it. Don't just give it to anybody.
So interesting. When I wanted to learn how to trade, I found one of the top traders in the world, and she didn't need to spend a moment with me. She's already earned mega money, very well known, and I was so wanting to be successful with trading. She gave me that gift. She actually paid for me to come to an event. It was $3,500. She actually paid for me because I was so hungry. I wanted it. I didn't need it. I wanted it. And, the welfare system in America gives to the needy and destroys us from the inside. And, iMarkets Live is the vehicle to give people that gift that really want success, not that need it. And every single one of you out there, we got thousands of people on right now, and you guys are our family. And we know spending, 10:44 p.m. Eastern. You could do something else on a Sunday night. You chose to be with us. That says to us, you're hungry, you want it, you need it, want it and need it at the same time. And I'm just looking forward to all the great things coming into the end of the year. Les, thank you so much for your gift, for your Christmas message. I'll be seeing you where we're going to do a once a month call on IML TV. We'll work that out. We'll make an announcement, but the next event is Unleashed, which is the first week of March in 2019. You're going to be up on the stage, speaking to all the people, giving us love, and also having the VIP dinner with us. So those of you that want to be part of that, Les, I can't wait. And hopefully, I think I'll see you very soon. I think I'll see you very soon anyway, the next couple of weeks. But thank you so much. China, do you want to come on and say a couple of words? But before, in the next 15 minutes, Crypto Picasso is doing the Night Owl at imarketslive.tv. I'm not going to do it tonight. He's going to be on it. Bitcoin seems to be exploding. The cryptocurrency markets have changed. Lots of action there. So get a chance to go to see him. And China, why don't you come on and say a few words and wrap it up? Les, thank you so much. We love you so much. Thank you.
Wow, this has been absolutely amazing. My book is filled with notes. I'm always inspired just to hear from Mr. Les Brown, to know that we'll have him once a month just pouring into us. I feel so much more powerful now. And I'm excited about going into 2019. Les, when you talked about us giving the gift of financial freedom to one person, I don't know, it just did something to me. And I remember when it first came up, I began to think, like, how can we do that with our infrastructure? How can I put my card on the file again for someone else? And I picked up the phone and called Gerard, and the back end system is already ready for it. You can create a wallet in your back office, and you can actually have a certain amount of money from your Paylution card to go into that wallet. So you can take $217, $251, and you can actually have that to go into your wallet, so that when you get paid Friday, it'll be there, and you can actually use that money to buy in someone else. That's such a blessing to know that we can give the gift of financial freedom to someone. So I will take you up on that challenge, Les. I'm doing it. I want to know who in here is committed. Listen, you don't have to just put it out here and just say it just to be saying it. I'm talking about the people who are genuinely committed to doing what Mr. Brown has just said, which is saying, I am going to give. I'm going to plant the seed in 2018 for my 2019. Look, the chat is blowing up, and I believe people are serious. It's not everybody that's saying yes, but there are people that are really committed. The deadline, Mr. Brown said, was going to be on Friday. So tomorrow to Friday, you need to bring at least one person in. If you were blessed tonight with this information that Mr. Les Brown has shared with us, I need you to put a 111 in the chat. The chat needs to go crazy. If you're committed to coming here every week to get this, bringing people with you every week.
Oh my God.
By this new alliance with Christopher Terry and Les Brown and everything that's happening at iMarkets Live, I need to see the chats go crazy. Put your ones in the air.
The internet right now. You're breaking the internet. Look at this. Oh my gosh.
This is amazing. I know that Ice's heart is smiling right now with just joy and excitement for what's happening to the minds of people here in iMarkets Live. So that's it for me, Chris. I'm excited. Thank you again so much. Thank you again, Mr. Les Brown. I am forever grateful for this opportunity. Chris, I'm excited to make history, and let's make sure that we get on Night Owl. Guys, this was recorded. We're going to get it out. God bless you guys. Have a great night. Woo! We'll see you soon.